What's up, y'all? How are y'all doing tonight on a Saturday night? How's it going? I just wanted to come on here and chit chat for a little bit. I hope that you are doing well today. Y'all, what are y'all up to? So, we got a few things that I want to chit chat about. So, y'all know that a couple of videos ago I was talking about how long can you float a balance on your credit card, and so I was talking about my City Thank You Rewards credit card. So my statement came down, so we're gonna talk about that. But then also, you know, Southwest last year they was talking about, they was gonna be letting you pick your seats, and then also with you being able, now we was gonna have to the baggage, and so it's gonna come down, and so we gonna talk about that. And then y'all, I got me another credit card. I have not applied for a credit card in probably 2 years. So we're gonna talk a little bit about this and a little bit about that. So let me know, where are you at? I'm in Nashville, Tennessee. And so it was a really nice day today. I got to hang out with the family a little bit today. So had a really good day. But let me know where you're at. We're gonna go ahead and get started. Let me share my screen. So first, y'all, we're gonna talk about, I think we're gonna talk about Southwest first. So let me share my screen and then we're gonna get to it. And then while I'm pulling this up, y'all, what have y'all been thinking about, with Navy Federal and the Gold prepaid card? I know a few people, well, I know one person had commented and said that they had went ahead and tried, I want to say yesterday, to go ahead and load it with their credit card, but they didn't say if it worked or not. So are they now charging you a cash advance fee to be able to do it? I don't know. Alrighty. So let me know if you tried it. So y'all, with the Southwest credit card, the good thing about it is if you don't have this credit card right now, you can get 85,000 points, which is pretty good. And so they're stating that you can get your first bag free, but then now the annual fee is 99. Because I want to say, when I first got this credit card, I promise you that the annual fee was $69. And I believe it was 89. I'm gonna have to check. And so now they don't went up to 99. But then they're saying that they've added a few new things. So one, they added the first bag check free, and it would be $35 a bag. And so that's pretty good. But then also it's saying that you have a complimentary standard seats. And so you'll be able to pick your seat. And so I think that that's good. So you'll have to let me know, do you have the Southwest credit card? And what do you think about that? Um, a few other things is now they have where you can earn 2 times the points on gas and groceries. And so I was like, whoa, that's pretty good. And so we'll have to see if I'm going to start using this card a little bit more. But the good thing about it is, even though you pick your seats, they're stating that you'll get a boarding benefit. So you'll be able to go into group 5. And so this is good because you'll be able to get overhead bin space. And I'm just like, y'all, are they trying to do the same thing of American Airlines? Because with American Airlines, you pick your seat and you are able to board in group 5. And so I really like that, because I'm just like, most people are, I would say with American Airlines, it seems like group 6 and back. And so with having a credit card and be able to board with group 5, even though you pick your seat, you still have some overhead bin space. And so that's what I like. Because I'm just like, when I had first got the American Airlines card, I'm like, man, you know what? I had just got it so I can get the points. But then, and at first, the year 1, I was just like, I don't know that I really like this card. And I think that I'm going to go ahead and close it. But you know what? I really actually like it. So yeah. but those are a few new things with the Chase Southwest card. So you'll have to let me know, what are you thinking about this? And so then also, y'all, I had went ahead and opened up me a new credit card. And so I opened up the United Explorer card. So I got it in the mail, I want to say Friday. I got it in the mail Friday. And so that's pretty good. And so I'll get 60,000 points if I spend, I want to say 2,000 or 3,000. So that's not bad because I prefer a low spend. But you'll have to let me know. Let me stop sharing. So, but you'll have to let me know, and we'll get back to this one. What spend do you prefer on a credit card? Because I want to shout out to admin because I don't have any Capital One credit cards, y'all. And I had tried, maybe, I want to say 2 years ago, I had tried to open up one of the venture cards. And so he was saying that the venture, I want to say the venture X, is it the venture X? The minimum spend on that is now 10,000. And I was like, that's crazy. And I want to say on the American Express Gold card, it's 5,000. And I'm just like, y'all, what is going on with the credit cards? Because I'm just like, you have to let me know. What are you thinking about this? Because I'm like, a 5,000 minimum spend, that can really change whether or not I'm going to be getting that credit card. Now, the thing is, they have it to where you can do 5,000 within 6 months. But let me ask you this. Are you trying to wait 6 months to be able to get the points? Because I want to say with the American Express Gold card right now, they have it to where I want to say does it have 100,000 membership reward points? I can't remember, but it has a pretty good membership reward points bonus on there right now. But I'm just like, I wouldn't want to wait 6 months to be able to get that bonus. When I get my credit card and I'm trying to get the bonus, I'm trying to get that bonus within like 2 months. So I prefer more of a low spend. So really not any more than 4,000. But you'll have to let me know, what's the sweet spots of a minimum spend when you are getting a new credit card. And so for me, it's going to be 4,000. And so when I saw that they had 10,000 for the Capital One, I was like, dang, that's a lot. 10,000 for a minimum spend. And then that's when I went over to American Express and they had 5,000. But with this United Explorer, it's only, I want to say 2,000 or 3,000. So that's not too bad. Alrighty, so let me go back over. Okay, so the good thing about this credit card for the United Explorer, it has pretty good perks on it. So one, I'll get a free check bag, and so that's good. Priority boarding, and then they have 2 United Club passes one time a year, and that's value of 100. Because y'all know I don't be going to when I go to the airport, I'm just trying to get in there. I'm not going to the clubs and stuff. And so, but I looked it up, but it wasn't to any of the airports that I'm usually flying in. So they didn't have a United Club in the Nashville airport. So you'll have to let me know, do you have this credit card? And, have you been in the United Clubs? Now, the good thing is, even though I already have it, they have $120 statement credit for either global entry, TSA, pre-check, and that's good. But I already got it through my Navy Federal flagship credit card, and then I have clear through the American Express green card. So that's pretty good. It has $100 United travel credit, but that's after you spend 10,000 in a year. And then it has $100 credit annually for hotels, but you have to get it through the United Hotels Explorer through their site. But then the good thing is it has a $60 credit for ride share. So I'm definitely going to be putting this in my Uber. We'll have to see. because I do Uber. With my Uber, I do my American Express green card, and then I don't do Lyft. So you have to let me know, which ride share do you do? Do you do Lyft or Uber? So I'm more so a Uber. And then it has $50 in travel credits. So, but you have to do that through Avis or Budget. And so I'll have to see about this, because I'm not usually one, when I'm traveling, to rent cars. So when you travel, do you rent cars when you travel? I'm like, usually when I travel, y'all, I be doing Uber and stuff like that. I usually don't drive too much when I'm going places. But one year I had went to Florida and I wanted to go and visit a friend. And so I ended up renting a car in Florida. And so probably in February, I'm thinking about going to Florida. And so maybe I might use it to rent a car. So we'll see. But that's pretty good. Yes. Let me see. But yeah, so I'm really excited. I just got to get that minimum spend on that credit card, but I should be able to do that, because the one reason that I got it as well, especially, for, let's say, 2026, thinking about the travel that I'm going to be doing, because for 2025, y'all, I did pretty good with being able to use my points and my cash back for all of my travel, except for when I went to Costa Rica. Let me see. Okay, happy holidays to you as well, Laquita. Thank you so much for joining. Okay, so you use Lyft. You know what? I'm gonna have to ask my sister, does she use Lyft or Uber? I think she uses Uber too, but a couple of my friends, they'll say that they'll go in between to see what the cost is between Uber and Lyft. But I think why I was doing that is because when I had the American Express Gold card, you got the $10 credit. And so that's probably why I was using it only Uber at that time. But see, now that I'm not with the American Express Gold card, and with the American Express Green card, you would just get the is it 3 times the points? It's either 3 or 4 times the points for ride share. And so I think that that's pretty good. Let's see. So y'all, this is really what I wanted to talk about. So y'all remember, or if you didn't see that video, so I had recently did a video talking about, well, how long could you float a balance on a credit card? So, let's say, you're using you're using your credit card, but do you try to not pay interest on your credit card? And so really, one, you want to take a look at two things. And so you want to take a look at your due date and your statement date. And so when I was taking a look at my statement for my Citi Thank You Rewards card, I was like, I wonder how long could I float this balance to where I wouldn't have to pay? Because y'all, let me tell y'all what happened with this one. So I had went to get my oil change. So I said, I'm gonna get an oil change. And then I was asking them I really wanted to do rotating my tires, and I wanted to do an alignment because I got a lifetime alignment. So then they was like, they didn't rotate your tires. You had to pay extra for it. And so they had some kind of deal to where they would do like a, inspection and stuff. And it was $9.99. So I was like, cool. So I went ahead and did that. And then y'all, they was just like, okay, you need to get some brakes. It was like, you need to get some brakes. So y'all, I thought I was gonna come out there spending $79 for the oil change, $79 or $80 for the oil change, and I ended up coming out there spending $600. I'm like, how in the world did this happen? $600? It was like $630. And so I was just like, it was just so funny. So, oh my goodness, let me see. I want to give a shout out. She said Uber. And then I appreciate you so much. And then shout out to her, my sister. She gave me a $19.99 super chat. Thank you so much. And so y'all, when I had so I was just like, okay, now I have the money to be able to pay it off and stuff like that. But I was like, you know what? I want to see how long I can float this balance on a credit card without paying interest. And most of the time when I'm paying a credit card, I'm not paying interest. So probably for the last maybe 6 years, I haven't paid interest. But this year, I might have paid like $10 or $15 in interest because that one time I had paid, I want to say it was like 3 of my American Express credit cards late, but I did call them and they had ended up reversing it, but they didn't reverse the interest. So I ended up paying like maybe like $10 or $15 for interest. But I was just like, even with all of that, I was like, well, let me see if I can not pay interest, on the credit card. Let me see. YouTube experiment said, Tasha, sorry to hear. Oh man. And you know what? Because I'm just like, because see, when I had got the car, I was going to the dealership. So I was going to the dealership all the time to get my oil changes. Because especially on the one hand, for 3 years, I was able to get my oil changed, all that kind of stuff for free. But then after that happened, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna just go to Firestone because especially, with the dealership, you gotta make an appointment and all that kind of stuff. So that's really why I had stopped doing that. And so then, and I was just like, man, I thought that they be checking all that stuff when you take your car to get the oil change. I'm like, I thought they rotated and balance and all that kind of stuff, And so when he was just like, well, you have to do this, I was just like, okay, no problem. Go ahead on and do it. And so then, so I had went ahead and got the alignment and all that kind of stuff. And then y'all, it seemed like when I got up to 70 miles per hour, the steering wheel was shaking a little bit, but I'm just like, well, I had got the alignment, so that didn't seem right. And so I took it back over there and he was like, because I thought they would do a rotation and balance, but they only did a rotation and they didn't give me a balance. So then, y'all, I had to take the car over to Tires Plus because I had got my tires from Tires Plus. And so I had like a, where you could get, because if something happened to the tire, I can go over there and they would give me a tire. So usually I would get it free or I would have to pay like $11. So that's pretty good. Because when I went back to Firestone, they was like, well, they would have to charge me for the balance. And I was just like, dang. So I was like, you know what? I'm just going to go over to Tires Plus and see if I'll be able to get it. So then once I had got the balancing, then the car is driving good. And so, but I'm just like, dang, I had to go to Tires Plus and I had to go to Firestone. So I had to go to 2 places. And I'm just like, I thought you could just get a one-stop shop. But I was like, that's crazy. So, but I ended up, everything is good. So, I'm pretty happy about it. Let me see. Let's see. I consider I consider a balance transfer as interest. You know what? I do think doing balance transfers are good. Because that's how I got out of debt. Maybe over 6 years ago, because I had did a balance transfer with the Discover It, and I get stuff in the mail all the time from Discover, to if I had any debt, to if I wanted to do a balance transfer. So I would definitely say anybody to do a balance transfer. That's awful how service centers take advantage of us women. I'm just like, I don't know, because it's just like they were very nice, but I'm like, man, because when I had my other car, I would always take my car to Firestone, and I'm just like, I don't recall that you had to pay for the rotation and the balance. It just seemed like if you got your oil changed and they was checking everything, and so I'm just like, oh my goodness. Last month I had a flat tire on a Sunday and had to be to work on Monday. Ended up spending around $900 for 2 new tire rotation alignment. Whoa, man. But you have to let me know, do you get the insurance? Because I'm telling you, when you get the insurance on them tires, it really helps. Because when, like, let's say if you get a flat tire, you can go there and then either they'll patch it, or if they patch it, or if they can't patch it, if the nail is in the spot, then you can get a new tire and you only have to pay like $11 or so. And so anytime I get new tires, I always get the insurance on there. Let's see. Vaughn said sometimes you need to get a front and a back alignment, but you'll have to let me know. But if you get an alignment, do they just automatically do both? It says, and 2 tire sensors. Whoa, man. Let's see. Yep. And see, Vaughn, that's what I did. When I had got my tires. No. You know what? Because see, at Tires Plus, they didn't have the alignment. And so when I had went to Firestone, but this was back in the summer, I had got the lifetime alignment. And so I do have the lifetime alignment. I do like that. Yes, I think that's great. I think that's really good to get the insurance. And look, y'all, let me tell y'all. So one, you want to get the insurance. And you know what? So I have a few little car gadgets that I have because I was just like, how often do you get a flat tire? And I'm just like, with them doing so much construction and all that kind of stuff. So I got me a it's one of those tire, what do you call it? You can put air in your tire and then you just plug it up and you can put the air in your tire yourself. And so whenever, let's say one time I had got a flat tire and I did it myself. And so I have like a couple of little car gadgets to where, it can help me out. So that really came in handy because let's say if you get a flat tire or if you get a nail in your tire, when you come out and a nail is in your tire, and then you just like, dang, how am I going to get the car to the shop? And so then what I'll do is I'll just put air in the tire to get me to the shop. And then, because most of the time you'll have to drive the car to the gas station to put air in the tire. But what I do, since I got that little gadget to where you can put the air in the tire at your house, then, it really comes in handy. And I got it from Amazon and it was only like $30. And so, yeah, the air pump. So it was pretty cool. And so it's like, so I got that one and it really helps because I use it for my bike, even though I haven't rode my bike in a while. And so that helps, if my tire on my bike is low. But I feel like I got another gadget. What other kind of gadget that I got? But I try to be kind of resourceful, so I got a few little, car gadgets and stuff, to kind of help you out. Because especially, let's say if you got to be at work or stuff like that, it's just like, man, you need to be able to, put air in the tires or stuff. Because it's like, if you have to get the car towed, then it's going to cost you money to do that. But being able to put a little bit of air in the tire to get you to wherever you need to go, it really works out. Yeah, a portable air pump. Yep. So that really came in handy. Oh, yes. Yes. Get a, that's what I'm saying, Bond. Yes, I got me one of those too. Because let me tell y'all what happened. Yeah, it was so crazy because one day, me and my neighbor, it was like she couldn't get in her car with her car fob, and then it was like I couldn't get in my car, and so because I work from home, and then I was like, and I didn't have no food in the house this day, and I was just like, dang, and I was like, man, so I had to catch an Uber to go to Chick-fil-A to give me something to eat. And then when I came back, he was like, well, let me try to help. So he was trying to help me and all that kind of stuff. And so he wasn't able to help. But he was so nice. And I made sure to give him a tip too. And then he ended up helping my neighbor too. And so what I did, because I was gonna be going somewhere. And I said, I ordered me. Now I think I caught an Uber to where I was going. So I caught an Uber where I was going, and then I caught one back. And so when I was at the place, I ordered me one of those battery, to jump your own battery. I ordered one myself from Amazon, and by the time I got home, it was here. And then I was able to get the car back. And so it was so good. And so I'm just like, so I got that. I got the air pump, and then I got the battery, so I could jump my own battery. And so I got those in the car. Yeah, so that was pretty good. Let me see. Hey, Miss DC. Oh my God, Miss DC, how are you doing? I haven't seen you in a while. I hope you're doing fabulous, and I hope that you had a very good holiday. Let's see. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Let me see. Vaughn said, but on the real, AA has helped. Ooh, yeah. Low prices for me, low prices for helping me get the car. Yeah. Oh my goodness. So, but I finally bought the two myself to get into the car. Yeah, because that's what I like to do. Because it's just like, let's say if you learn how to do something, like I'll figure it out, and then it's like I'll try to be able to do it myself. But let me see. So I want to talk about this really quick, and then okay. So in November, I had made in November 22nd. That's when I had got my car fixed. So I got the brakes and all that kind of stuff. And so I was just like, well, how long will it be before I had to make a payment on that card? So let me show you. So I put my November statement. So in November, I had $34 on this card because y'all, I really don't use that card that much. So it was $34. And so the due date was going to be 12/7. So I went ahead and paid the $34 on 12/7. And so the thing is, you want to make sure that you know your due date and your statement date, because your due date is when you're making a payment to satisfy the bill, but then also your statement date is when the creditor, so that's when Citi was going to be reporting my utilization to the credit bureau. So especially if you are trying to be able to increase your credit score fast, then you really want to make sure that how much am I going to be reporting to the credit bureau. So to me, it's not so much how much debt you have on that credit card, is really how much you report to the credit bureau. So that's why it's important to, on the statement, on your statement date, you want to figure out what that statement date is and be able to report 7% or less, or even if you had a high credit card utilization, if you can get it down, but 30% or less is going to be the best. So you can see here when I made the payment on November the 28th, even though it satisfied the minimum payment and then the statement balance, I still had a balance of $630 on the credit card. But I still haven't paid any interest on this credit card. So my statement for December came out, and you can see that I had the $630 on the credit card. And so I have to make a payment of $41 on 1/7 of 2026. So so you can see that I have to make a minimum payment of $41. But see, my statement balance was $628. So really, by January 7th, I want to pay the $630.28 so that I don't have so that I'm not paying any interest on the credit card. So technically, that's going to be 45 or 46 days that I didn't have to make a payment for this balance. And I also went and checked my credit to see how much reported. And so for November, $34 reported, but for December, $630 reported. And the good thing is it was only 5%. So it was only 5% credit card utilization, which is good because I do like to report a balance on the credit card opposed to not reporting a balance on the credit card, because especially now, it's like, what do you think the climate of credit cards are? Do you think that they're going to start slashing or closing credit cards? And so we always want to make sure that we're reporting. So I like to try to rotate my credit cards to report. And so especially, this is my Citi Thank You Rewards card. Y'all, I done had this Citi Thank You Rewards card forever. And so I definitely don't want them closing this one, because if they close this one, then it would mess up my length of credit. And so I definitely want to make sure that I'm, reporting so that they don't close it. Because that one time that Bank of America closed not one but two of my credit cards, because one, for 6 months I wasn't showing no activity on that credit card. And then they had closed, at that time it was like they were slashing and closing credit cards. And so they had ended up closing one credit card, and then maybe a year later they closed another one. But I think I did get a comment, and somebody was saying that Bank of America recently closed or either slashed their credit limit. And so I was just like, so I think we just really want to make sure, especially within the next, 3 to 6 months, really making sure how's our credit looking, especially our credit card utilization. We don't want our credit card utilization to be too high, but really what it is make sure that we're not reporting. And so that's where it's good to know, well, what is our credit card, what is our credit card utilization, but what is our statement date? Because once our creditor is going to be reporting to the credit bureau, then that's going to be the number. So, so here, that's where for this credit card, it was only a 5% credit card utilization, which was not bad. What up, John? How are you doing today? I hope that you're doing well. And then Miss DC, I'm doing great. Yes. Have y'all got all of y'all's holiday shopping done? I haven't really I haven't really gotten any shopping done. I need to do just a little bit of shopping, but I'm not gonna go too crazy. So, but I hope that everybody is doing good. I just really appreciate y'all joining. I wasn't gonna stay on here too long. I just wanted to come on here and chit chat a little bit. So I just want to say a shout out to Laquita, my sister, YouTube Experiments, Vaughn. I hope that you are doing well as well. Miss DC, it's so good to see Miss DC. And then John coming on here. That is so fabulous. But I hope that y'all are having a great weekend. And I'm going to get on out of here. But, let me know what kind of content are you going to be wanting to see, here soon. But I appreciate y'all so much. Thank you. And I hope that you have a good night. See you later.